When we talk about any product or any supplement or any medicine to help a woman, we must always know the role or importance of women. See, Ayurveda is an ancient science which around 5,000 years ago, it was documented in the scriptures 5,000 years earlier itself that Yada apatyam strihi moolam apathyana strihi rakshati rakshitaha, which means stri or a woman is the primary importance in the whole universe. Like, she is the moola for apatya. Apatya is nothing but an offspring. Okay, it is a woman who is the root cause for an offspring. And also, strihi rakshati rakshitaha, which means you protect the health of the woman. She in turn protects the health of the family. Okay, so you protect her, she in turn protects the whole universe. It is like that. So how do we help her? We can only aid her. Okay, help is what we can do. So how do we do that? Why is it necessary in doing it? That will be in today's session. The one example, the strong example which we can see is one from Srimati Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, the ex-Prime Minister, the one and only woman Prime Minister, who was the symbol of strength. So she has said that, let's not forget that in India, the symbol of strength is a woman, the goddess Shakti. But the strong need is to keep her strength in adversity. Okay? So we will have to protect her strength. It is not, you help her in protecting her health or giving her good health, making her normal, like the physiology, by bringing back any, if she is having any small minor ailments, you can just combat it by building her immunity, by making her more strong enough so that there are less tensions for her, because she would be having thousands of things which will be running in her mind. So again, a simple problem, making her to visit a doctor, that could be more stressful for her. So when we have something which we can provide it to her, and that could help her in having a normal daily routine, is something which is very much needed. And how do we do that? So now when we see what are the most common adversities in women, so when we see that she will be playing a major role, women will have so many roles to be played by her. So when during that, there could be certain impairments in her health, like there could be menstrual irregularities above the age 35, which is more common. There could be impaired hormonal issues, which is most common among 80%. And among 68% of women of more than 35 years of age suffer from joint aches or joint pains. Yeah. When we see the other ailments, it could be like hypothyroidism, diabetes, depression, PCOD or PCOS, stress, obesity. All such conditions are which bothers a woman. See, we must always remember that a woman is made special by nature, that she has her menstrual cycle every month. That is, she gets into menarche, that continues till menopause. So each month there will be various physiological changes which happens to her. That is influenced by the role of hormones. There are certain specific hormones which are particularly required for a woman to have her normal menstruation. Sometimes menstruation is something which is not common in everybody, like it is not similar, which I have to say is from woman to woman it differs, and in a same woman it differs from month to month. It need not be 3 days in a particular woman. Say Mrs. A is having 3 days of menstrual cycle. It is not compulsory that Mrs. B should also have 3 days. Mrs. B can have 4 days of cycle. Mrs. C can have 1 day of cycle. Mrs. D can have you know, 8 days of cycle. It continues. It differs from woman to woman. Likewise, Mrs. A in the month of January can bleed for 3 days. The same Mrs. A in the month of March can bleed only for 2 days. So this everything is dependent on hormones. So the target there is hormones. And hormones, when we speak about hormones, I will have to say you that always hormones in its natural form will be very welcoming to the body. If any hormone in its synthetic form given will be toxic. So the role of hormones is so important that it completely manages or maintains the woman's health. So any abnormality in this hormonal cycle can cause PCOS. Again, it is a hormonal variation. Hypothyroidism, again, it's a hormonal condition. Diabetes, again, it's a hormonal condition. Depression, again, mental stress related with the hormones brain. Stress, general stress, again, with the hormones. Obesity again, sequelae of PCOS, sequelae of many other diabetes. It is sequelae of so many conditions. All this would be bothering or distressing a woman. Again, hypertension and osteoporosis. So these are which are not directly connected to hormones. So hypertension, stress, all these levels, again, that could cause some disorders. And osteoporosis is also estrogen dependent. Like after certain age, the estrogen starts getting depleting in the body. And estrogen is that which is very much important for maintenance of bone health. So if a woman has to have her bone health properly, her estrogen should be in a very good normal value. If it is not in the normal range, there are chances for the bones to start degenerating, causing osteoporosis. And osteoporosis is the main cause for joint pains, which happens little later. So the main cause for all such conditions or adversities in women would be stress, sedentary lifestyle, improper eating habits, and anxiety disorders. So these factors will hamper the health of the woman, causing all the above said conditions. So now we will have to see whether these health conditions are curable. See, I said there are 4 main causes, like improper eating habits. So nowadays it is very common that having proper food at right time is very difficult. It is generally advised that your dinner has to be completed by 7 p.m. I guess it's very difficult nowadays to complete the dinner by 7 p.m. Then you start having junk at 7 p.m. and your dinner would be somewhere around 11 p.m. Sometimes it might go at 1 a.m. also somewhere. So ideally the dinner has to be completed by 7, and the morning breakfast somewhere around 8 to 9, and afternoon lunch you'll have to have certain particular hours, which we are not maintaining. So that is one of the cause for having these conditions, abnormal conditions. So improper eating habits, sedentary lifestyle. Most of the women now have the sedentary lifestyle. So the work pattern itself is like there is no much physical activity. Earlier there were so much physical activity that water, they used to take it from the well, they used to clean the house, mop the house. Now it is like different. You have servants to do that. You hire maids for that. You have machines to do that. You have everything is very easily available, easily made, so that you don't take much strain of your body. So it is like physical activity is only 10% when seen 100 or 150 years before. The physical activity, if you compare, it will be somewhere only 10%, which the modern woman is doing now. So that is one of the, again, important factor for these conditions. And third one was stress. Like most of the women would be having stress, one or the other tensions in them. So those will directly affect her mental health, which can change the whole pattern of her menstruation, causing many conditions like this. So now, are these conditions curable? When we see, yes, they are curable. How do we maintain that? How do we cure it? So it is by regular physical activity, lifestyle changes, and sufficient sleep. So by doing regular physical activity, yes, a certain amount of conditions could become normal, and having adequate sleep or sufficient sleep is very, very, very important. At least 6 hours of sound sleep and 8 hours of normal sleep. That is, among 8 hours, 6 hours of sound sleep without any disturbances is very much advised. So now, when we see the modern time nowadays, sleeping at 1 a.m., 12 p.m. and waking up at 7, 8, that's entirely not advised according to our Ayurveda. So where they say when we see the nature, because Ayurveda is more connected to the nature. So, it is like the birds or when we see these birds, they generally wake up by 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. and they come back to their nests by 6:30 p.m. and they start taking rest. By 7:30 they are completely done and they are into the sound sleep till morning 4, and 4:30 they wake up. So human is also a social being, social animal basically. He is a social animal. So the same way, lifestyle earlier was somewhat like this. 7:30 they would have finished everything and gone to sleep. But now the lifestyle has so much changed that we start watching series, we start watching TV, you start playing, you start partying, and you come back only by 1, or you sleep by 1 a.m. or 12 in the midnight, and that again doesn't give you sufficient sleep. That will be a disturbed sleep. That is not advised at all. So that is not possible now. And also lifestyle modification, we are used now to all these machines, and now it is really difficult to come back to normal. So if it is done, then that is very appreciable, but that is not that easy. It requires time. So meanwhile, during that time, what could be done? So diet, which is rich in nutrients. So nowadays we get everything packed diets, packed from milk till whatever vegetables, everything comes in packed, sealed, and it is for preserved. You get it, like you store it in the refrigerator, then you thaw it, then you cook it, then again you freeze it, freezing, thawing, and everything is like, most of them are rich in chemicals instead of rich in proteins, iron, calcium, etc. So what do we do to get rid of all such things? There comes the idea of this eye care. So when we see that there is a special nutrient need during each stage of her life for health supplements, so we have to give her some health supplement to maintain her health. So because a woman has a varied role to play, so she plays the role of the mother, wife, working professional, etc. For that, to help her, we definitely require a supplement or a health supplement. So there comes this product of Indus Viva, that is the eye care, which takes care of comprehensive women's wellness, which is 100% natural product, which is safe for women more than 35 years of age, ideally. So it is a natural one. As I earlier mentioned, that anything natural to the body is welcoming and anything artificial is toxic to the body. So this is a very natural product which is very safe to the body. And now let's see, what does this have? So the goodness of Ayurveda, wherein the curcumin, boswellia, asparagus and valerian roots, these 4 are the major ingredients along with other ingredients. So basically, curcumin or haridra, the boswellia or shallaki, asparagus or shatavari, and valerian roots or thagara. These are the Sanskrit names of these indigenous drugs. So when we see that curcumin, that is called, that was recently very much in news during the COVID pandemic, that golden milk, that is milk which is made with the help of turmeric, was called as golden milk, and that was given for everybody to boost the immunity, right? So that was very much in news. and Shalaki is something which helps in the bone health. Okay, so these joint aches, the other osteoporosis, everything will be helped by Shalaki. Shatavari or the asparagus is a very rich drug having major phytoestrogens in that. So estrogen is that hormone which helps the woman to have her normal womanhood. So for that we require estrogen, and Shatavari is that magic drug which has so much of phytoestrogen in it. So that phytoestrogen is something that which you consume does not stay in your body for a long time but gives the desired effect. It is not like an artificial hormone where you take that, it remains in your body permanently, damages one or the other system and does not leave your body. It is not like that. Phytoestrogen means that which is got from natural source, which comes inside the body, does its desirable effects and leaves the body. So Shatavari is one such magic drug, and valerian roots or the thagara is an excellent drug which helps the brain health, that is mental health, which relieves the stress, etc. So asparagus, which manages menstrual irregularities and support the hormonal health, and valerian roots, which balances stress and mental health. So what does this whole compound eye care does? It balances the hormones, it reduces the PMS effects, and it controls the stress, anxiety and depression. So it is that compound which addresses each and every minor issues. So this supplement can help in completing the womanhood, that is from her menarche to menopause, but more ideally after 35. Why? Because so then it starts projecting more. Earlier it will not be that much. After 35, every woman would have one or the other problems, and for that I guess this supplement should do wonders to her. So this strengthens the bones and immunity, it decreases insomnia, and it also improves the energy. So it is like an overall health supplement which directly has its effect in building the immunity, in improving the joint pains and muscle aches, the bone health, giving proper sleep and improving the overall energy. So whichever, like doing of more physical activity, having good food with rich in supplements, which is little difficult to do all these, having adequate sleep, again this is something which is difficult. So all these could be given in a single package of this compound, because this has those drugs which are there which will give their effect in that particular area. So with this I will conclude the topic of eye care, which will be helping in a woman to have her womanhood peacefully without much stress and without much tensions in her head. So this being a supplement for her will help her or will give her good health, and this is the best gift which you could ever give a woman, because you treat her good, she treats the whole family like that, the whole everything society could be a healthier one by helping her out. So thank you one and all.